Hi everybody, Bullet back here with another storyboarding basic. Today we're going to talk about how to make our storyboards or planning pop a bit better to get the reader or production crew more invested and immersed into your boards, and that's using something simple like sound effects. First, I want to take a look at some of the sound effects that really affected me growing up as a comic book reader since I was 8 years old, which is my daughter's age now. And basically, books like Thor by Walter Simonson and lettering by John Workman, and those two combined created possibly the most dynamic sound effects in comics, that not only did you get a sense of the action, but the weight and the sense of scale and the sense of drama that was involved with creating that comic, with Walt writing and drawing and John Workman doing the lettering and all of the sound effects that were involved with it, really gave a great sense of drama, action, and epicness to those flat 2D images. So let's get into it. Let's dive into getting some really cool sound effects, and let's draw this out together right now. Now, let's just kind of establish ourselves with a little bit of action going on. So if we're going to have a sound effect that's going to be happening, we need a piece of action to work with. So usually the most famous pieces of onomatopeia or sound effects that happen on a 2D plane, it would be something of the old Batman series from 1966 starring Adam West, and the biff, poom, Ka-Pow, kerplack, all of those, my favorite things. Those are exactly what we're going to be working with, and to throw that into our drawing. So let's get ourselves a little action scene happening right now. So if we could just kind of establish that we've got, let's see here. Let's just kind of have a punch being thrown this way, and we're going to have some foreshortening here. We'll have the, if we're going to establish a bit of a fight scene. Usually when it comes to fight sequences, I don't ever really do the choreography here, but I do want to set up with the director until they work with the fight or stunt directors what's going to be happening. So let's really get in a bit of right here, because you got to always look in the mirror and look at yourself and just go and just kind of get a reference as to what you want for that angle. So you'll find on my phone library, outside of family and out stuff like that, I have a ton of reference photos, a lot of me looking silly as heck, and every artist kind of does that too. So we're gonna have, like, he's gonna get like a bit of the face there, a bit of the eye almost closing entirely, and then a bit of the action of the hair being pushed like this. I'm going to have action. I'm going to have an R face like this. Really, really rough. We just want to like establish this here. We're going to go not pow, but we're going to go crack, and spelling them differently makes it pop out different, because immediately your brain is thinking that's not how it's spelled traditionally or according to Webster's dictionary. But when you do it, like, instead of C-R-A-C-K, you go K-R-A-K, your brain goes, that's not right. You're drawn to that, but that's what it sounds like when it happens. So and that's what immerses your reader or anyone else looking at this here. So we're just going to establish this here, like this, and a bit more like that, this. Crack. And we don't have to draw all of them. We just want to establish that they're going to get a bit like this, Oh, and a bit of the shoulder blade there. So their head is turning, and we have those action lines, a bit of like that. So it's kind of like swiping past. And we're just gonna have like a bulb. We'll have like The Rock versus Jason Statham, because why the heck not? I'm gonna just draw, because he's like, can't you smell what The Rock is cooking? And he's like, now I'm Jason Statham. So let's just kind of get rid of these planning lines a bit, since I kind of know what I want. And I always make sure that no matter how clean I make these lines, I'm gonna make sure that whatever I do for the lettering is going to be messier and fuzzier, because that helps it stand out away from what we're doing. this, and we're gonna go like that, just little lines like this. And then we're going to establish that that arm has reached out and punched this guy and thrown him more closer towards that camera. So we're going to just establish that. And fluff that hair towards that angle and the direction the head is being turned, and a bit of messiness. And I'm just going to add like this. Action. Action. Like that. Like this. Like this. And I'm going to like that. Like this. His head turns that way. Arm goes this way. Head turns that way. Bit of the teeth underneath like this, and then establish his shoulder and a bit of a jacket like this to the side, because remember, it's not that we want to get his clothing perfect. What we want to establish is that this guy is being hit really hard by a very large man. Crack. Just like this. It's like bigger, small to big, showing that direction of our hit and that impact coming off there. So just tighten that up a bit like this. Rock should actually be much bigger here. A bit more shadow under there, so if there's light coming this way and he's getting hit and that way. So you can kind of see that. Here we go. Once we establish that this dude is being punched this way and we've got crack, and have it bounce out of the, have it bounce out of it. It's okay. Yeah, we have the lines and we keep it inside, but you know what? If you just kind of go outside those lines and you have it pop out that way, I'm telling you, it's going to get people to draw it in, because your eye is drawn into where the action is, and it's so explosive a punch that it's throwing the action lines past the border. It's going to be, that's a huge impact. We've got the action lines coming outside of the border. We've got fuzzy writing that says crack, spelled incorrectly because your eye is drawn to that. It's drawn to, it's spelled incorrectly, but you get the impact of the hit of the punch. So in this panel, what I'm going to do is I want to have like a car drive away. If someone is oh no, the bad guy got away. Establish our person. Just like this. That's it. I don't even put, when it's an over the shoulder or someone isn't the real focus, but they're in there, I call it dirty. It's dirty on them, meaning not really focused on, not the main focus, but we're looking at what they're looking at, right? They're on the right and they're going into this direction. So we're going to see that a little bit of bullshit perspective here. Showing, remember about the block arrows and directional arrows episode. When it comes to doing storyboards or any sort of planning, and you're going to have a sound effect to help impact that moment in drama and story and with action, you always want to also incorporate things you've learned before, like directional arrows. So you can go ahead and click on that episode right over here, go back and watch that one if you forgot it or if you haven't seen it. It's also in the link in the description of this video wherever you're watching it too. So we're going to have this directional arrow like that, like this, and make it a bit more blocky, right? Just establish that dude right there. Just the outline of it there. Then I'm going to go ahead. Okay, so Cybertruck is driving away. And it's going to go. It's gone off. The person didn't get there in time. The Cybertruck is driving off, away. And it's an electric car, so electric cars are going to make that electric car sound, right? And I'm having it go from really small to large to show the direction it's going in, away from the camera and away from the center or where our eye is going to be drawn to first. And I'm going to have it go vroom. So do we get that sense of just this little bit of sound effect of how far away it's gone? And then we say, like, who's there? I don't know. Who cares right now? It's just an example. They're just examples, guys, okay? So that's what we have here. So we got that here, we got that here. So let's establish a bit more of those later. Go back and finish the rest of it, but we want to establish this point right here, coming away and going vroom, like that. It's driving away into this direction. The arrow's helping, and this person here has come into the shot right there. Just like this. A bit of a blockiness there. Give it that depth, right? And then I'll just come back and I'll just use one of these puppies to kind of like, I hope. Now, if you're using something like Procreate, you can go ahead and use any brush you want to do the lettering. You can even use text and add that in there. And I do that all the time. So we have the Cybertruck going away here, arrow pointing the direction, arrow pointing when they came into the frame, vim, just like that. So that's a way of using a sound effect that pushes away from things. So now let's just go ahead and let's just do some sort of sound effects that's going to help you. We're not going to draw a scene, but we're going to just draw out different ways of establishing your sound effect here. Just recently I was helping a pal out with a project, and basically I was adding some sound effects into his project for specific shots, and for that I added a lot of red lines coming out of the edge of the frame like we did previously, and basically that was actually making your eyes draw into it with the Ka-Pow it added with these red blood splatters coming off the panel to show the impact and the impact and the energy of the scene, and basically how this action is a defining moment for a character. Can't show you what it looks like or for what project, but that's part of NDAs. But we can work on something like this too. So if it's something wet like this, W, right? And we can even go and if you want something like where the water, someone falls into water, we're going to have a bunch of lines, and then we're going to go just blobs like this and go. So if I were going to go ahead and draw like this, something is going to fall in, is going to have like blobbiness, blobs like this here. And we're going to have like ripples in the water, and this is like establishing the water. We're going to go like bubbles, like bubble lettering. And I always sort of like have like one letter or leg of a letter sort of beneath the other one to establish, like right there, splash. And then an exclamation point and a bit of water reflection like this. Splash, something falls into the water, splash, there you go, right? And then maybe we want to go ahead and we want to do like a gunshot and go Ka-Pow. So let's work on that part now. Say they're shooting a gun, a John Wick film, and they will establish a barrel of a gun like this, like this, a little cylinder, and then this way, and just imagine two cylinders this way, hand gun like this, and then like this, and then blam, it'll be a blam, and it's going to be a huge impactful gunshot. Blam, onomatopeia, like that. We're gonna go And remember, we have the lines and the action coming out this way. And the thing is that why, as many artists, you might be like me or no one like me, you don't want to throw away markers even though they might have some juice left in it or they're pretty dry. The cool thing about drawing markers is that they give you a great texture, just like this here. You know, and I'm using the sound effect to help amplify the lighting here, just like this. Blam! Right? Blam! And it's going phew, phew, just like that. Bam, bam, blam! Just like that. And these are just little tricks. These are just little tricks, little hints about making your sound effects amp up your 2D image, other than just looking like a roundish looking flattish ball on one side and someone holding something. You don't really get a sense of the impact here until you get this, because now you hear it. When I come back to this one, how we have crack spelled incorrectly, we have it incorrect, but your brain's drawn to it because you know it's incorrect, but you get a sense of the impact. Things like that are going to help your planning and your team more involved and immersed into your drawings. You have to remember that sound is 50% of picture. Picture is not 50% of sound. Until you come here, they work together so well. Some things work as a silent film. Some things are better with sound. Thanks for being with me today. I like being with you. Oh, that sounded horrible. That's it for us today. Thanks for coming by and checking us out. If you like what you saw, you got something out of it, hit like, subscribe, lets the algorithm know that you like these kind of content and you want to see more of it. If there's a question you've got, please let us know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Bulin, this is Storyboarding Basics, and go out there and make great art.